All right, so that's the clip. Public proposal gone wrong. You saw, I mean, the girl just didn't, I mean, anyway, it's not my opinion that matters, so let me leave it to our panel. Meanwhile, we've been joined by yet another panelist. She is a journalist. She is, she actually wrote a column on relationships, you know, in a public national newspaper for a very long time. And she's still here doing her thing. It's an honor indeed to have Mercy Michaels join us on the show. Thank you, Mercy, for coming.
My pleasure, honestly.
All right, since you are a relationship expert, quote unquote, let's begin with you. This issue of public marriage proposals.
Okay. When it comes to public proposal, it's not a question of good or bad. So let's just get that clear. It's not a question of good and then bad, no. It's just a question of preference and style. Some people like to be proposed to publicly. In fact, they would, for me, personally, I would be motivated to be proposed to publicly. I don't think, people think I'm a huge public person. But honestly, it will ruin that day for me.
Wow. Because I want just all of that attention.
I don't want all that attention to myself. I mean, this is contrary to what a lot of people will think about me. But like I said, it's not a question of good and or bad. It's just a question of preference and style.
All right. You know, there are some guys that actually believe that when you have to propose to your girlfriend in the public and you're using that to checkmate whether she has lots and lots of boyfriends. No, that's the truth.
Yes.
So you understand? So it's a way
ambush.
to know your own stand and your own number. Are you number 1 or are you number 10?
Why don't you just ask me?
Because they believe that the only way I can be sure that this babe actually belongs to me is when I get to make everything in the public.
Right. Okay. Let's hear from you, Ms. Obidei.
Well, I think that would be a ghastly mistake because if you want to be sure that I'm the one, then asking me publicly wouldn't be the answer. Because if you actually are the person that I want and I walk out, how do you feel about that? I think that would not be something that you should actually do publicly. And then you're even troubling with her emotions because you're putting her out there. If it's somewhere where she's well known, she has to come back to that environment. For some women, it's a joy. That's the truth. Some women love it. I feel that it's a matter of knowing who you are actually going out with. Okay. If you know your girl, whether she's black, white, whatever it is, you know her person, you know what she likes, you know what she doesn't like, you know. If you've been going out for a while, you get to know her in and out. There are some women who thrive on it. You would have seen it probably done in a movie and her reaction is, oh, wow, this is fabulous. I wish this was me.
Okay, I get what you're saying, but what is worrisome for me is how it is played out. You know, it looks, it's supposed to be like a surprise thing, but how the whole thing plays out at the end of the day, it becomes more like a stage.
Like a production,
you mean? Do you get what I mean? Like,
okay,
like this, first of all, was never our thing. Our culture never, you know, we always have a way of imbibing things from the Western culture.
Very true.
And this public proposal thing became very popular after the Kim Kardashian and Kanye West proposal at the stadium. And then it took a humongous dimension. But what I'm trying to say is here, I understand if a lady wants to be, you know, acknowledged as number one in public and all of that. But how we go about it, you take photos, you do a video, there's a cameraman on standby. And the next thing is you put it on social media.
I think it's not a matter of whether it is staged. At times, for the guy, he might have, you know, have like a foreplan with friends of his, you know, of his girlfriend. This public proposal of a thing can at times be placed side to side with surprise bridal shower. Where the bride is not even aware of it. But where some instances now get to play is there's a cameraman. At times there's even the right top. Then the lady just walk in. At times the lady, well, at least I've seen one or two that the lady is even aware. So it was not even more like a surprise.
No surprise.
She just walked in and she was like, oh yeah, say it. You know? So at times it may be good, and at times it's just like one that went viral recently. The guy proposed on the girl's birthday, I think at the mall, and she walked out and she told the guy, "You want to ruin my day," and she went all out. You've done this with my friend's sister,
Yeah.
and you expect me
And
to get
marry
a yes
you. Yeah.
from me at the end of the day.
Okay.
So
All right. Another thing is, where did we actually get this? Aside, you mentioned the Kim Kardashian and co, but where did this all thingy? Where did it all start? You understand? Because there are times that you
Social
actually
media.
frown.
It started from social media.
I
support
support
you.
It started from social media, basically. We're all
It's
young,
like this
and I'm
maternity
sure that,
photo shoot thing.
and I'm sure that
And
at
pre-wedding
some
shoot.
point in our lives, we've dreamt of our knight in shining armor coming, and in a very special way, in a very unique way. I don't think it's a social media thing. Every girl wants to be proposed to in a special way. That's
Yes.
the truth.
Reality
You
check.
understand? Every girl wants that special moment. You would rather people watch. For someone like me that said I'll be mortified, honestly, maybe try to play safe. You understand? Because if in case it goes awry, then everybody's in the know. We all know a popular star who was proposed to on the big stage, and it didn't work out.
yes.
He just puts the fellow out there.
Yeah.
You know.
And then all eyes are on you.
And then,
on.
when he
And
crashes,
people want to
everybody
monitor
knows.
and find out, oh,
Yeah.
okay, how
It
did
is
it
a
pan out?
success.
Yeah.
But the fact that you put yourself on the spot, a lot of people that are going to make sure it doesn't work.
Yes.
Your friends, his friends, a lot of factors are going to be playing out.
The media.
The media. So for the sake of playing
The
safe, I would
community.
rather the private thing. Then when we're marrying,
Older.
you
Do you
can now
think-
make it public.
Do you think, Mutiat, do you actually think a lot of guys would love this private proposal kind of thing?
Okay, let me not.
Okay.
Let me deviate a bit from this private proposal. Like one of my friends, when she had a private bridal shower, it was the husband that planned it. He just called few of we that her friends. Even told us some questions to ask her. Ask her my best food and my best friend. Let's see if she can answer. And at the end of the day, she passed.
So if she had failed, uncle.
And we'll give him the report.
Okay, while all of this can be interesting, interesting to talk about or write about, to see on, on social media, we have to also talk about the bad side of it, which is what is beginning to happen in Nigeria now, where a guy proposes to a girl publicly
walk out.
and she says no. The next thing is he kills her. Let's talk about that angle.
You're talking about something.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
I mean, yesterday I heard of a story where it was in the news. I read it, where the man proposed to. It was on Facebook.
Yeah.
Where the guy had sent her to school. Then eventually, after 7 years of courtship, relationship, he proposed. And the girl said no, and he killed her. She had finished from medical school. She spent 7 years in school, and then he killed the girl. It was so sad for me. I'm like, yes, I know how you can feel to be turned down, but is it worth it? Is it worth taking life? No. And that was because he proposed publicly. If he had done his thing in the private corner, she had said no, they would have talked about it. He wouldn't have felt like, he wouldn't have felt, I don't know. I'm sure it took something away from him as a man. He wouldn't have felt less
Of a man.
of a man.
Yes.
I think it was it was about his ego.
ego thing, yes.
His ego was deflated publicly. No, that was too much. I know how it, but still, it's not worth
It's
taking.
not,
now.
yes, you can't
It's not
justify
worth
it.
it.
You want to say
Exactly.
something?
You can't justify it in his own
Yes, you
case.
can't
I
justify
feel
it, yes.
he felt he was safe. Because if you really look at this story, he felt that after 7 years, we've been together and we've been coming along and there's been no issues. Even if they had issues, it's probably been sorted.
Yeah.
And for him to be able to send her to school, both parents probably knew about it.
Yes.
And it's more like a given that they were getting married.
Yeah.
Probably along the way,
She fell out.
she
of
fell
love.
out of love, but she didn't want to lose
Which is why
that
it's-
opportunity.
Which is why it's called courtship.
7 years is not.
I think we
It
get-
does
we
not-
get-
I think she should have
Exactly.
she should have backed out of it. I think the honorable thing would have been to leave the relationship instead of taking him for granted
And taking
just
advantage of
taking
him.
advantage of him. But he went too far.
He went too far.
by
He
killing her.
cannot be justified.
Because now
Resistance.
a life is lost. even his future is
ruined.
ruined. Because if we really, really look at it, where does he go from here?
Yes.
He's labeled, who wants to marry such a person?
Yes.
You know.
Okay. All right. Now, like I said from the beginning, but before we go into that, let's quickly remind us that you can be a part of the discussion by sending SMS only to the number 0708 7407508. The number again is 0708 7407508. SMS only, please. Okay, like I said from the start, that we copy blindly. Whatever is trending in the Western world becomes what, you know, we follow it, and we don't even get to the root or try to even research into why do they do this. You understand? Americans who propose publicly, you know, they do it for a reason. It's to make a statement about where we are in this relationship. We're in a terrain where a lot of men don't like to get married here. And a lot of people get married because I don't get belly, you know, like it's not really because there's a connection. You know what I'm trying to say. And what's playing out again is you see a lot of guys and girls too, they're jumping into this thing called marriage without really being prepared for it because they want to put something on Instagram. Yes.
Status.
Yes. You want to update your status with a video that's I proposed to her to show off an engagement ring. Or this is, for me, I think it's a disastrous trend, if you ask me. I like the conservativeness of marriage, you know, between a man and a woman, where we understand. Yes,
they call
I'm
it
very
old
old school. Yes, I'm very, very old school in that regard, you know, because there is something intimate about marriage. But when you put everything in the public space, it becomes something else.
Okay. And a quick question. Why do you think a lot of ladies, now we've talked about why guys, fine, I'm not a guy, but I'm just trying to imagine why they would actually love to do a public proposal because they want to know their stand. So why do you actually think, that's one of the reasons anyway, that why do you think a lot of ladies would also love she mentioned Instagram. Why do you think a lot of ladies would actually love
Everything is for the gram.
for the gram? Everything is for the gram.
Yeah.
Not always. I will still insist. Not always. No. Some people love to. You must appreciate the fact that some would like it and some would not.
Okay.
That's the truth. You must appreciate that fact.
Okay.
That's a choice.
Yes.
All right, because our time is fast. Welcome back. All right, you saw that girl there. I mean, I could feel the sincerity in that one. She was just weeping.
Patience.
Yes.
Why was she crying?
It was too much.
never
Too much.
experienced
Like
Yeah,
when
it
she
was too much.
She cried. I think I would faint. It's too much emotions, you know. Like especially when you're really, really surprised. You know what I mean? When it's not like staged or planned, it can be really overwhelming.
Hold on, Patience. Why do you think she will be surprised? Because you're dating someone. You definitely
You're
know
dating
that.
someone.
You're dating
Not
someone.
in every relationship do you really know that.
you
I'm
You
actually
don't.
going to the
No,
next.
I disagree. No,
No.
you should know you should know the direction at which relationship
Your relationship is
going.
going.
Yes,
If you know the one
should
is that is
know.
just going to be there, that you're just going
In
to
fact,
stand.
I think what should make you
Okay,
cry is that
we
if
need
he
to
doesn't
move on.
propose
We
at
need to
certain
move on.
points, that should make you cry.
Time up, time up. Okay, meanwhile, before we move to the next topic, let's react to this feedback. This one is from Sheung Adedokun. He says, I am a Christian and I believe God chose her for me. I think he's talking about whoever the wife is. I told her and she agreed. And she's still expecting me to propose again. Is it a must? Okay.
That's
I think
That's another angle.
this is well. Another one from Deji from Ota. He says it's a new trend. The glamour is the beauty of it, but in Niger, it's important to weigh the consequences and prepare for it because Nigerian girls got no chill. You know, you have to be really, really, really sure. All right, moving on. Recently on social media, an Igbo lady named Nkiruka Akpovili came out to address her father in an angry manner. And it's because, according to her, that her husband is broke after returning from their traditional marriage. And that's because of the bride price and every other thing. I mean, come on, if you know the Igbos, you know what it's like to get married.
I'm an Igbo girl,
Yeah,
and I can tell you for free that what you consider to be the typical traditional marriage list of an Igbo girl is not general. You can't generalize it.
Really?
Ask this babe where she's from. She's probably from Imo State.
Who?
The babe. The babe. Okay,
this babe. Okay, all right.
You just read the story.
Oh, I thought you were pointing to me.
Sorry. She's probably from Imo State. You understand? It's not a general thing.
Okay.
Everybody knows. I mean, even we that are Igbos, we know that when you go and marry an Imo State chick, you must have a lot of money in your wallet.
Why? Let's ask
It's
that
the
question.
tradition. You have a choice not to marry an Imo State girl.
That means the girl will now continue to remain in her father's
It doesn't
house.
come cheap. Good things don't come easy.
Does that
That's
mean
the
every
way
other
they
lady
see
from
it.
other states are cheap?
No, no, that's what about. It doesn't come. I mean, good things don't come easily. So we know. So it's a choice. It's a choice thing. If you want to set out to marry an Imo girl, yeah, all nice and good, but just try and up your game a bit. Have a lot of money in your wallet. But if you want to marry an Enugu State girl, I'm not making cases for, but I know that this thing is common with the Imos. You understand? So, and it really is a choice. A lot of guys too have money to spend. So what is the issue?
So now, money and marriage.
Let's hear you.
But I know that Ngwo from Enugu has that same challenge.
Okay, you know someone
Yeah.
from Enugu that is okay.
From Ngwo's side of Enugu,
okay.
go through that same problems.
Okay.
No, like you said, we cannot generalize.
We can't.
Even from Imo, I'm sure there are some
Even
parts,
there are some families
that are
even there are
not
some
like that.
families that would insist. So basically, it's a personal, individual differences. Let me just put it that way. I think it's just a case of individual
Without
differences.
differences.
Because my brother married a Yoruba girl. I'm saying it on national TV. The lease we were given was over 300,000,
Is that fair?
and that is a Yoruba girl. So I don't know what you consider to be fair.
To be fair, yeah.
What list is even fair?
What exactly
If you
is too
ask
much?
me,
What exactly
what
is
is
too
too
much?
much?
Because
What is too
I think
much?
it
We need
depends
to know
on the
what is
man, the
too
status
much.
of the man, how well-to-do the man is.
You know, some people saw
Yes.
our list and were like, check the babe's name again. Hello.
But what were you expecting to pay? Like 50K?
No,
Okay.
we didn't expect that the Yoruba list would be that, you know, we had
No, are we talking about
cartons
the
of
list
Milo.
of the bride price?
Wait,
Is it the bride price or the
no,
list?
the engagements now. Is it not
The
same
bride
thing?
price.
The bride price.
Bride price.
Okay, you're only talking about bride.
Okay,
Okay,
hold
in
on.
Imo State, the bride price
Price
is
is
not
always
much.
high.
No.
But hold on.
It's the least
in
that
this,
is
in this
like-
part of the world, in this part of the world, when we talk about bride price, we don't talk about only that thing in isolation. We talk about
Everything.
That is why I said
All
the
the
typical
materials.
traditional
How
Igbo
many
list is not the
wrappers?
same across board. It's not the same. Even in Imo State, truth be told, you'll still find some family that will insist that no, I will not do this. That's the truth. It's more like an individual difference kind of a thing. I just told you the case of a Yoruba girl that we got married to. Good enough, she's beautiful, she has a good ass, she's a great girl. That's the only
she
thing
was
that
on
made it
worth
free.
it.
So it was
300K.
It was only 300,000.
families.
I'm just saying,
I know
what
a
is
lot of
much
people-
actually?
But I know a lot of parents actually thinking on how those kids are going to be, the wives are going to be enslaved.
After
Do you understand?
collecting,
Because there's always this men, fine, I'm on national TV, I get to take apologies anyway. A lot of men are actually, they have this ego thing. And
Ego
they
men.
rub it to your face and they will tell you,
paid.
I
I paid."
paid.
Yeah.
So you have to, wait, no, let's talk, let's say something serious.
I never said Igbo men.
on TV.
I said
Yes.
no.
Wow.
Like, seriously now, they have this ego thing. I paid your bride price. So even if you have to do this, wake up at this time to do this, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Aren't they thinking about what those girls will be going, or rather the wives will be going through after the old bride price?
I think where the challenge will come
Okay.
is if the Igbo girl is marrying another tribe.
Yes.
The guy probably is feeling he bought her over. No.
Yes.
But if the Igbo girl is marrying an Igbo guy, is the
It's a
guy's
little bit
pride.
cheaper.
He
Yes.
understands.
So he understands.
It's
It's the
the
guy's pride to even, you know,
Do it.
he
But
wants
what
to go
if
overboard.
she's in love with a guy that really cannot afford to pay that money, and then because he cannot afford it, he either loses her or he goes out to borrow. Now, when you borrow against your future, what do you think will happen to that marriage? You end up having the situation that girl is.
Yeah.
Because now he is borrowed, he has used all his income,
He's in debt.
is in debt, and now she's back home. They've got to eat, They've got to pay rent.
She has to face
They've got-
life.
She has
Yeah,
to face
squarely.
life.
Yeah.
So now I'm giving her kudos because she understands where the problem is coming from. Somewhere probably wouldn't even do that. They will tell you, Omo, you know me before you come marry me. You can't do it. Well, that's your business. But she's understanding with the guy. I feel that the social media was not the place for her to do that. Before the wedding at all, she should have sorted it out with
With
her
a
family.
family, yes.
This is what my
guy
guy
can
can
afford.
afford. Please let us tailor it to that.
That, yes.
They should have sorted that out before the wedding, at all. So if he had gone ahead to do it and then the wedding is over, why cry over spilt milk?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was just her own way of venting, letting out a lot of, because according to her, when she came out, she actually said, and I quote verbatim, I want to sincerely beg all Igbo fathers. So this is like a PSA, public
Yes.
service announcement, you know, from on her part. I want to beg all Igbo fathers here to stop, to please stop the act of billing their daughters' husbands to be, just because they are not non-Igbos is not fair at all, because while they are enjoying the money, their daughters are at the receiving end, which is the true reality
That's a
in some
reality.
cases.
In
But
some
let's
cases.
look at the social implication, you know, of this. We see a lot of mature, you know, of marriageable aged Igbo ladies. I'm sorry we are restraining this to the Igbos. It's because the person
That's
who
the
came out
topic.
with this is an Igbo lady. Okay. Yeah, of Igbo ladies, you know, who can get married because the suitors that can afford them haven't come yet. How is that affecting society?
I think that
No, patience, you know, there are times that a lot of ladies, I need to digress a little bit.
Yes.
A lot of ladies, we have this thing that there are some ladies that actually feel it's not a must. That must probably be one man will just come and take me over as.
It takes a process
Do you
to
understand?
get to that
Yeah.
point.
So you
It takes
understand?
a process
so
to get to
some
that
would
point.
have tried and it's not working. So will I have to now go and pay the bride price?
But we've had situations where the lady eventually paid.
Yes.
Because I've had a group where this discussion came up and someone said, well, it's not a crime if you help
Your husband.
your husband. But now, for me, it's a matter of pride. If you as a woman is paying your bride price,
Your own bride.
my sister, will that man respect you? Will his family respect you? It is either you're in or you're out. If you want to do it right. Either talk to your parents or go to God. For me, I believe there's nothing that cannot happen. Even the toughest of hearts can be melted. Prayerfully go to God. See.
But when you're talking about talking to your parents on this issue, I don't see a lot actually happening.
Because we have
I don't see a lot of success in that, because fine, let's go back to the Igbo tradition again. Your father or your immediate parents are not the ones
To decide.
who make a lot of those decisions.
Yes.
There is the Umuada, Umunna. Alaro, help me. You're more Igbo than I am.
I think that.
You know,
I don't think that there are a lot of
role.
ladies out there that are not married. Some, of course, there are pretty much some that are not married because of this issue of bride. But I think a lot of more people are more single for other reasons than this.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that any father will stop. You understand? There's a certain age your father can't stop you anymore.
No, they do.
They do, but they don't want to voice out.
They do.
They might not want to voice out.
They do.
Because I'm sure this particular lady will be getting bashing from her village peers that, are you the only one who sent you? Do you understand?
She even said that here.
Of course.
She
She'll
said
get
it here.
bashing from them because she's actually coming out to say something.
Of course
And
she
maybe
will.
now the
Let me
elders.
read it for you. She said, I know some of my brothers and sisters who want to insult me. I know some of my friends here who want to inbox me to interrogate me. I don't care, because we are back in Lagos broke. And for the first time in a long while, I'm now a debtor and I can't sleep or eat well. So she knows she's going to get bashed. But she just had to put it out there. Yeah. But her current reality is she is not living well now. Just because she got
But like she
Yes.
said, this thing could have been talked about before the marriage.
That's the
She
truth.
probably would have waited. The guy, I mean, that means that the guy really, really loves her to have gone that far with her. They could have talked about this thing. If it wasn't going to work at this year, they would have waited and probably when it's convenient for them. You understand? I don't think people should put them. If any parent wants to put you under pressure, so long as you don't put yourself under undue pressure, you will get past it.
But I think there's this thing in the Igbo land where you get to a certain age and you're not married and it's like you're over the shelf and there's a way you're treated. I think for some women, it's probably that they don't want to be in that place.
Okay.
They don't want to be in that place. Nobody
Yes.
wants to feel like I'm different. My situation is different. So because of that, they just feel we can do it. When we get done, we'll go and manage. And then we'll get over it.
All right, we're getting feedbacks on this topic. One of them from Emmanuel Moka from Agbo in Delta State says, in most parts of Africa, a wife is given and not sold. Then the young man is received as a son-in-law. So those who sell should think well, because marriage is an open door to a lifetime relationship. I get where he's coming from, because imagine this kind of a son-in-law who is now a debtor because he got married. How do you want him to perceive his in-laws from then on? Do you understand what I mean? Everything he does with them now will be with hostility. Don't you think so? It's going to be angry for a very long time. For a very long time to come.
It's going to affect the relationship.
The mother-in-law would
affect the wife.
The mother-in-law would come and do a mugo, and you expect her again to take things.
But anyway, maybe I'm thinking that why do you even have to go that far? Why did you have to do that? Why did you have to borrow? Why did you have to do things when you know that is not convenient for you?
Wow.
That's
All right,
my
the
point of
number
view.
we have on the screen is wrong. The number to send your SMS to is wrong. It's 0708 740 7508. Okay, I think we're actually missing one number. It's 0708 740 7508. That is the number.
And,
all right.
Yes, and knowing that you could get to join the conversation via our social media platforms. That's on Facebook. That's on www.facebook.com/Galaxy TV, and on Twitter @GalaxyTV, using the hashtag #TheBoss.
Yes, of course. Let's
Okay.
get
For instance, I have a friend whose mother is putting a lot of pressure on her because she's 30-something and she's single. But she's not allowing that pressure to. She's not putting her own self under pressure. Recently, her younger sister just got married. And then the whole family coming like, why the younger sister? We thought
Before the elder sister.
Yes, we thought she should be the one. Why But I like the fact that, I like the way she's handling the whole thing. She's not allowing the pressure to get to her. That's what a lot of people should do. Like this guy going all the way. And I mean, why would you even allow your man go do this thing, then you come back and start? I don't believe in, I don't like regrets. I don't like regrets.
Okay. All right. Do you have last words on this topic so we can move on? Do you have last words on this topic? Okay. But the issue of bride price, now to the question, is bride price, is it necessary? Quickly.
Yes.
It is necessary.
Yes.
Why do you think
Because
so?
it's our tradition.
Because it's our tradition. You're a
And
traditionalist.
No, tradition are a way of life.
Culture, that's true.
It's
And
a
we just
way
have to
of life.
preserve
We
it.
just have to preserve it.
Okay.
We're not saying, bring an arm and a leg. No, don't break bank to pay bride price.
But
That's what we're
do
saying.
something to appreciate the fact
But
that,
do
you know,
something to, it's the culture.
that you appreciate this person.
I'm sure it's
you're
even
taking
biblical.
as-
Well, it is. And then even in Yoruba land, even though it's written and the money is brought, on the wedding day, it's returned to the groom.
But it is symbolic.
It is symbolic. You
That's
bring
my
it.
point.
You
It
have
is
to
symbol-
bring it.
you have to
You
bring
bring
it.
it, but you return it. Like mine was